Side view.
Hey, Code Dem family. I'm sitting here with Nat Adderley Jr., who is nice enough to join us today. He is in our music section of the January issue of Code Dem magazine, where we talk about Nat being Luther Vandross's composer and literally changing the way songs were remade. So, Code Dem, welcome, Nat. Nat, how are you today?
Just fine. Okay, I like that intro.
Yes, 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 man. So I don't know how many people, below Generation X know all about Luther Vandross and music, but they know good music, right? So your music was timeless. And so I want to start with the fact that you knew Luther kind of growing up. You guys either were friends or how did you know Luther kind of before he became famous?
Well, we were in the same group. The group was called Listen My Brother.
Okay.
We rehearsed out of the Apollo Theater basement. It was a group like maybe you've heard of Voices of East Harlem.
Okay.
That group, but Listen My Brother was kind of just like that. Had some great singers. Were not as popular at the time as Voices of East Harlem. Voices of East Harlem had a couple of hit records, but Listen My Brother had Luther Vandross and a few other singers that I actually thought were going to be the ones to break out and be big stars at the time. We were in high school,
Okay, so you were
so
in
I
high
get
school.
so I was in I guess I started in ninth grade. They say I was 15 or 14. I don't feel like arguing with those with the Luther family now about when we met. I
Yeah.
think they say low. I say we met when I was 15 and Luther was 18, I guess. He was still in New York. He hadn't gone off to college. But anyway, that's how we met. We were in a big uh 12 singers, four-person band, and we did songs like the Voices of Beat Hall and Protest,
Okay.
African American pride, that kind of thing. It was the 70s.
That's
We're,
awesome,
we're talking
Nat.
about the late 70s, so you know
That's
what we were doing.
yeah,
And we
yeah.
performed around town, but then we became big friends when we discovered that a few of us in that group were writing songs. We're trying to write songs, so it's
Okay.
not often as a 15, 16-year-old you're going to meet people that are trying to write songs. So
Yeah.
we became big friends and playing our songs for each other, and it kind of went from there.
And so the thing about Luther is Luther kind of started his career doing jingles and commercials and he would, go around the country and he would literally commercial here, commercial there. And then he kind of got talked into saying, "Hey, why don't you become a recording artist?" So did you reconnect with him as he started his first album? When did you guys reconnect?
Okay, we always well, I guess we say even when he went to college, he came back and was in the group. So anyway, my first year in college, he gave me a call to come down to Philly
Okay.
to Sigma Sound, I think it was, yeah, and record his very first album. That it
Yeah.
was the group called Luther.
Yeah.
We
Okay.
did that. Nobody heard of it, but I went down to Philly and I think I was just playing piano for him. I think Carlos Alomar tells me he did the charts. I don't remember.
That's
But
awesome.
anyway, that was when I was a freshman. Now, when I was a junior in college, he called back again and said, "Hey, I'm going in the studio again to do another record. Can you get on a train and come to Philly?" I said, "Sure." So we went down and did his second record, which had Second Time Around on it.
Okay.
We recorded that again on one of his Sony albums years later. But anyway, that album did a little bit better, but still nobody really knew who he was. So yes, he was doing jingles in New York and running around the country singing background for folks, mainly Roberta Flack, I would say.
That's awesome. Now,
Right.
remember in the beginning of the podcast, I talked a little bit about how you guys changed how music was recorded, especially redos. So back in the 40s and 50s, redos would be the R&B singer, the country singer would come in, take the song. He literally would, for word, the composition of the song would stay the same. You and Luther literally changed how redos were done, Nat. Tell everybody kind of how when you started composing for him, how you guys slowed songs down. You literally changed the entire song, but kept it the same.
Okay, sometimes it slowed down. I don't know about kept the same. I did feel like that at the time, but it was not the plan. I would say that let me see. Well, the first arrangement of a cover I did for him, I guess, was the Temptations, "Since I Lost My Baby."
Yes.
Um, I felt it was already rather different. We didn't go in saying let's make this different. I just did a new chart for "Since I Lost My Baby," how I was feeling at the time, and it came out like it came out. So then the next one was album 3, and the next one was "Superstar." So, man, I don't know. I guess Luther did that. He asked me for a long intro. He asked me for an orchestral intro. So that was the beginning of it. Then he slowed it way down. I think I probably mentioned to you that I did not like that idea
I remember you saying that. I remember you
of that
saying that. Yeah,
song.
right, right.
But then once he slowed it way down, I said, "Oh, okay, I guess I see where he's going." I still wasn't in love with it. But then as we got into it, I started doing the arrangement, and I don't know, man. I can't say I didn't mean to go that far. I had the strings there. I started writing all these string lines, which made him kind of keep the keep his vocal rather straight because the strings were flying around behind him. I have no idea how it happened, but it ended up, and the fade was on there. It just happened, and then by definition, after we did Superstar, then clearly all the covers were going to be wildly different
Yeah.
than the original. You couldn't get more different.
Now, did you know you were making magic when you were doing this? Because it sounded like you were saying, "Man, I didn't know,"
I
and we were playing
didn't.
around, and all of a sudden, these are timeless
I
classics.
had absolutely no idea, but I had no idea. I remember the Never Too Much session.
Okay.
I didn't know. I just went back to Houston to my little baby daughter and wife, my first wife, and we're hanging out, and it came on the radio. I had no idea Never Too Much was gonna hit like that.
Yeah.
And then for House Is Not a Home, I mean, what a career starter! I'm still amazed at remembering that at the time all those record companies turned him down.
I
Turned
know. Yeah.
turned
Yeah.
down Never Too Much. That's one thing, but then turned down the dude that, I mean, they heard that House Is Not a Home and didn't want to sign that dude. I just can't fathom how that's
Yeah.
possible.
Yeah. I agree
I
with you.
don't.
I
Yeah.
agree with you. Now, based on all the work that you did on this first album, you guys toured the world. And then how long were you with Luther after you guys came out with the first songs that you were composing for him?
Oh my gosh. Well, yeah. Then after Never Too Much came out, then I got a phone call to go on the road and be his band leader. And I said, of course.
Hmm.
And I called Kirk Whalum and told him I could not be in his band, even though I just learned all his music and I was just joining Kirk Whalum's band.
So wait. I gotta slow down for a second. So wait a minute.
You got to
You
stop on
joined
that.
Kirk Whalem's band.
I had just joined his band. We were good friends in Houston. We were
Okay.
neighbors.
Okay.
We were neighbors in Houston. I was way in the beginning when our way grown kids were babies. I had a baby. He didn't even have one yet. They
Okay.
lost
Okay.
one. And so I was there for that and all that. We were neighbors. So anyway, we knew each other for a couple of years playing around town in different settings. And then, yeah, the beginning of that summer, what was it? 80, I mean,
83?
83. That one. No, 81.
81. Okay.
81, yeah. Those are 79, 81. Um, he called me, said, "Do you want to join my band?" I said, "Yeah." And I learned all his music. We were buddies, but then I learned on the thing, and we were about to do our first few gigs, I guess,
Okay.
when I got the call from Luther saying we're
Man.
going out on the road. So I had to call Kirk and said, "Kirk, man, I'm sorry, dude. I gotta go with this dude." And he's like, "Who? Luther?
What dude?
Luther? Who? Who are you talking about? Who is this dude
Yeah.
you're leaving my band for?" He was horrified.
Yeah, right. Because at the time, Luther wasn't known. He
Not at
wasn't known
all.
as a commercial artist.
Not at all. The Chains music was out. I think we weren't so aware. I mean that the two songs he wrote that he sang for
Okay.
Change.
Okay.
I guess they actually preceded us going in the studio for the first time.
Okay.
Going in the studio for Never Too Much. So I guess we weren't familiar with his name. Maybe or Kirk wasn't familiar with his name. But anyway, that's just That's
Hey,
just what
man, that's
happened.
just how it goes
I said
sometimes,
let's
huh?
go, and the rest was history. The next time, and we never signed a contract. You know, I was never under contract with Luther. Just every year, all those years,
Hmm.
it was just, hey Nat, you coming out again? Yeah, I'm coming again. Or hey Nat, it's about time to go into the studio again. You got some songs for me?
Right.
And I said, no, I don't, but I bet I'm going to the piano right now and get some.
Now, did you ever work? Because I remember when we talked before, and forgive me if I say the wrong name. Did you work with Gladys Knight, or did you do anything with them?
Uh,
Or remind
mm,
me who you said you worked with besides Kirk Whalum, Luther. You worked with a couple other artists.
well, we did two Aretha albums
Aretha's, yes.
back
I'm
at the
sorry,
time. Yeah, they
Aretha.
did
Okay,
very well. Jump to It was when Marcus Miller did that first big. It was her comeback hit.
okay, okay,
Apparently, Jump to It. So I did play piano on it, but then that album, I did a bunch of arranging on, and we really enjoyed that. That was her comeback at the time. I don't remember how long she was just off the scene, but Jump
okay.
to It just put Aretha back on top of the charts.
Okay, so Nat, I gotta ask you because you seem to have struck lightning 4 or 5 times, bro. Right? So you go to high school with Luther, you know Kirk Whalum, then you got Aretha back jamming. What's the secret to the sauce, man? How did you end up being in so many right places at the right time?
Wow. Oh man, I cannot explain being Kirk Whalum's neighbor. I mean, what are the chances of that?
Right. What's the
You
chances?
know, I just we moved. That was my first apartment. After having a kid, my first kid
Okay.
happened to be in the building next door to Kirk. I don't know what that was, and that was before Kirk was Kirk Whalum, before any of us. We just were buddies. That I have no idea. Um, Meeting Luther, I have to say that well, going to music and art. I was living in New Jersey, but my aunt Olga, Cannonball's wife, uh, had already years before convinced my parents that they needed to put me in Juilliard, that
Okay.
I had something and I needed to be in the Juilliard prep division
Okay.
for kids. Uh, so that was much earlier. But then by the time I was ready to go to high school, she and others said he needs to go to music and art, and I just cannot imagine life without going to music and art. I just met everywhere. Buddy Williams and Francisco Centeno, people that I joined a band with. We did a record. Earl McIntyre, Marcus Miller went there. Ray Chu was a couple classes behind me. Ray Chu entered music and art as a drummer a couple of years behind me, and I convinced him that, hey, dude, your drumming is great, but your musical knowledge is way too high, and your piano playing is way too good for you to just be a drummer. You need to go ahead
Right.
and concentrate on this piano. So I feel like I gave Ray Chu some great advice that he obviously took all the way. Um, so anyway, but that was all how that happened. Music and Art was on 135th Street, and the Apollo Theater was on 125th. So I would just after school run down there to rehearsal, and we were friends. We'd hang out after rehearsal. So I guess that's how I got to be there. And then those productions. I mean, Aretha called Luther to produce her because he had such success
Such success. Right.
producing
Right.
himself. We did Dionne Warwick too, if you remember back then.
Yeah. Yeah.
That record wasn't as successful, but their duet appeared on his record and was very successful. You know, So Amazing was written for Dionne Warwick first. She did
You
it.
know, I was gonna ask you because I think he might have sampled or he might have he redid about what 4 or 5 of her songs.
Dionne?
Yes,
Oh, I know. Not sample. Don't say that.
I didn't mean to say sample, but he
Yeah, yeah,
literally
right.
remade about 4 or 5 of her songs.
I don't know. Well, too, I don't know about. Well, So Amazing, he wrote for her and then
Oh,
he
okay,
recorded it
okay,
himself.
okay,
But before that, and How Many Times Can We Say Goodbye was on her record and then appeared on his. So that's two, I guess.
okay,
You're counting them. Other than that, what you're talking about is that House Is Not a Home
okay.
was the Burt Bacharach, and that was Dion.
Right, right, right.
And that became what that was. So what I never understood all these years, man. I mean, 3 albums later, we did Anyone Who Had a Heart. That was also Burt Bacharach. That was also a Dionne Warwick thing.
Right.
That is remains right at the top of one of my favorite
It's
tracks we ever
Nat. It's
did.
one of my favorites.
Oh my gosh, I love it. And it wasn't a hit and nobody heard it. And I always wondered why that wasn't a lot more popular at the time than it was.
Hmm.
And I'm like, well, are people tired of us doing Burt Bacharach / Dionne Warwick tunes? Is that
Right.
why? I know House is Not a Home. I played acoustic piano. I played regular grand piano.
Okay.
But on Anyone Who Had a Heart, I did electric piano. I said, is that why? I just couldn't figure it out.
Hmm.
That track also, of course, has Kirk Whalum playing all that saxophone throughout behind Luther.
Okay.
When I first brought Kirk in, I mean, I guess he forgave me by then
Yeah, because you brought him
because
in.
the first time Luther needed a sax player, I said, I got the dude for you. You need to fly this dude in from
Okay. Oh no.
played on that first record. I don't remember what the first one was, but once Luther came and played for Luther, Luther just said he never called another sax player. Kirk Whalum was the first call
He
from
was it.
then on. So
Man, that
but
that
yes,
is
so I don't know.
beautiful.
Everything
That is
just
beautiful.
yeah, everything just happened. I don't know, man. I mean, it's who knows?
And,
Who
and
knows?
Nat, I'll take a look at the music today, and I just struggle to enjoy the music today. Even my kids who are in their early 20s say, "Dad, when we're in the car, can you play your music? Can you put your music on?" And when
Good.
he says your music, Nat, he's talking about your music. You know what I mean? Like my generation of music is the
Right.
music you made. They want to hear that.
They want to
Today's
hear that stuff.
music, yeah, they don't want to hear the stuff that they're making today is so soulless that you
I don't.
guys literally
Yeah,
defined our generation for us.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I have trouble sometimes, and not with everybody, but right now, I'm telling you, just some things are just wrong to me. Just
Yeah.
sometimes I'll hear some stuff and say, "Well, why wouldn't you use the right notes right there? They would sound better. Why? What is that? Do you not know musically what that's kind of supposed to be? Or and there's nothing
Hmm.
supposed to be. I understand that. I'm willing to let people be creative and do some avant-garde, do some things, some dissonance. I mean, it's all music, but it just seems to me that a lot of stuff doesn't even cross that threshold. It's
Well,
like
let's
it's like
talk about today a little bit, Nat, because right now you have a project that's out that's been number one for the last 4 weeks.
for 4 weeks. Oh, you noticed. Thank
Come
you. Oh,
on,
you,
man! I
you
did my
noticed.
research. Yeah.
Wow. I am
Yes.
still in such shock, man. Now you're talking about something that was unexpected, and how did it happen, and who knew? That is the biggest surprise. I didn't know, man. I'm so pleased. I don't even understand exactly what folks are hearing. I think I got something. I think I wasn't thinking about arranging,
Okay.
and so when it came out, I realized somebody said arrangement, and for the first time in the recording of the record, I thought, oh, I guess they are arrangements. I never thought of it that way. I was just trying to play, and we were just doing the arrangements that I mean, I did do arrangements years ago, and we do them, and then some of them kind of happened on stage more than what I brought in, more than the chart I brought in. But the final record sounds like arrangements, and people seem to. I love that anybody would recognize the piano player on my record and actually recognize or hear that that's the same dude that did the
Right.
Luther records. Oh man, because such a different style, but
Yeah.
that's my favorite thing to hear.
So Nat, tell everybody the name of the project, and then where can they hear it?
Oh goodness. Okay, my new record that is number one for 4 weeks
Hmm.
now. Did I get that back in there?
You got that.
um,
Hey, you got it in there. That's what this.
I
Hey, that's
got
what the
it. I'm
podcast is
learning.
for,
I'm
Nat. That's what the
learning how to get it
podcast
in
is
there.
for. Right, right, right.
um, well, you can get it anywhere, of course. I mean, my favorite now is Bandcamp.
Bandcamp.
You
Okay.
can get the CD. I'm old school, man. I still order from Amazon, so I have not set it up. The record is not on Amazon. In fact, when I get off, I'm gonna go and start trying to set that up so you can get it there. But
Okay.
not there, but everywhere else. Instagram, Spotify,
Okay.
uh what's it called? Something Apple Music.
Apple Music. Okay.
Um all those places. I can't even think of them, but
Well, what we're going to do is we will attach a link to your latest project where they can go and they can view the title, go to Spotify, listen to a couple songs, and then once you have Amazon set up, if it's set up, they can go there and they can pick it up. And
okay.
so,
Well, otherwise, okay. But same thing for them.
yeah,
Bandcamp is right. It's on there now.
yeah, yeah,
If you
yeah,
know, I never knew what it was, but
yes, yes, and
apparently people do, and it's for
and
sale right now on Bandcamp.
we're also
But
going to link because we put a link to in Coda Magazine. Your article is in our January issue. In Coda Magazine, where we actually put a link to the song or your music in the magazine. And I want to remind everybody, if you like what you're hearing, please subscribe to our channel. If you like this interview with Nat and everybody else that we've been talking to. So Nat, man, I'm super excited for you, bro. Are you touring anytime in 2026 with your new project?
man, not yet. You know, well, I will be. I have a couple of things. I'm in Charlotte in February. I do keep moving around.
Okay.
You see that. You asked me to be still, and I have not been still
No, you're
at
not.
all. um, so let me see. What do you say? So I'm in Charlotte. I'm doing. I'll be in Atlanta.
Okay.
My buddy Dwight Andrews, who is the head minister at First Congregational Church in Atlanta. He took over from Andy Young,
Okay.
actually, at that church. We've been buddies for years. I did his records back when we were in college together. Anyway, I will be at that church in February, the first Friday in February, for their jazz series for the year. So I'll have my
Okay.
band there.
All right.
I'll be in Lakeland, Florida. So I just have a few little things set up right now because I kind of stopped because I mean trying to get the record out,
Right.
and now I have Ed Keene. I have he's gonna book all kind of stuff. So now I'm kind of just waiting for all of that. They
Okay.
insist, and I'm doing APAP. If you know that
No,
showcase.
tell me a little about APAP.
APAP, what does it stand for? I don't know, but they do it every year in Manhattan and just showcase a bunch of bands.
Okay.
There are promoters and they call them buyers
Okay.
that are there, and I've done it. I've done it 2 or 3 times with other acts.
Now, who is in your band? How many people in your band?
Oh my gosh! Well, it'll be trio for APAP. It'll be
Okay.
quartet. Sometimes I do trio, sometimes quartet.
Okay. Okay.
APAP is just 20 minutes, so I'll be doing trio for that.
Perfect. Perfect.
And yeah, it's just for 20 minutes. I don't know how people get invited to that, or I don't know, but I'll be there with a trio. And to answer your question, you know, things are mostly set up. So the great stuff, I think they have told me, summertime is when folks still have spots available
Okay.
for me. I'm hoping that some people between now and then for some cruises somebody backs out and I'll slide in
And slide in. Yeah.
that way.
Yeah. Right.
But I'm sure that APAP, so I won't be on the cruises or the big festivals too soon because they're booked already, but I'll
Yeah.
be somewhere. And
Well, listen,
and so,
I expect if your project continues to stay at number one and get legs like it has been, that you will start getting phone calls and they'll bump people to put you on, bro. So
to put me on,
yeah.
I'm hoping for that, man. From your mouth to God's ears.
Yes, come on. Hey, I called it into existence, so it's gonna
All right, man.
happen.
All right, and I do need that, man. I need to play now. Actually, man. I'm like,
Let's go, bro. Let's
I'm
go.
telling my wife, honey, I need to practice. I need to go on stage and sound reasonably, somewhat like people think the record sounds.
Yeah, yeah,
I got
yeah.
to go practice.
Well, hey, man. Well, listen, I know we promised you that we'd be on for a certain period of time. I will give you your day back, Nat. It is so good to talk to you, brother.
Thank you.
Stay in touch. We will look for you in 2026. And the next time Codem has something, we may just have to hire the Nat Adderley Jr. band to come and play with us. So,
That sounds good to me,
yes,
Brian. It sounds
yes.
great, man.
Yeah, yeah. So enjoy the rest of your day, bro. Merry
Thank you,
Christmas,
man.
Happy New Year, and I'll be talking to you in the new year.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, man.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate
Yes,
you,
sir.
man. Talk to you soon. All right.